we're going to use this time to sync up on all the work that's going on around the BCard org. We're going to eliminate blockers, and we're going to prioritize our work for the next week. Nice to see that everyone has kind of found their way over to this server. Since we can no longer do our calls on the BDAO server, I will just make sure no one's over there right now. Yep. Okay, good. No one's over there. So if you are on the team, you should be on this side now. We're going to start having, I think, most of our meetings on this server now, just because we want people to be able to access it. And on the BDAO server, it seems like it's getting locked down a little bit, which that is their prerogative. And as our own self-sovereign project, we need to be able to make sure that the people who we want around are around. So that's why we're here. On the lag metric side, pretty low this week, 103 on the weekly transaction volume. So that was, I think, like 2 weeks ago, something like over 1,000. How I'm working on it here. This week I updated some work on the business model, really getting into some of that background work on the macro trends. You can take those, take a look at those if you want. I did update the business model canvas, but I'm going to update it again based on some of the research I did on the macro trends. So that is kind of ongoing work. In terms of new members, I don't think we have any, so we'll just skip over this and go straight to our milestones. And again, our milestones, we're aiming to create revenue. And the way that we're able to create revenue is through that weekly transaction volume. And so that is why our weekly transaction volume is the metric that we're trying to optimize. And from a product perspective, we're trying to do that by getting 1,000 weekly transacting users. So on the rewards flow side, we started user tests this week. We already did.
It's cutting out as well. Hey, Lynx.
Hey.
Yeah, you were just dropping out there a little bit. We can hear you again, but there was a little bit of intermittent audio, maybe about 30 seconds or so.
Oh, okay. I can try to take off my headphones if it happens again.
We'll keep an eye on it for you.
Okay, yeah, just let me know. All right, yeah. So on the rewards flow side, we did some user tests, and we have 3 more booked for this week. And that's going to help us refine the UI UX on the rewards flow, just like we did for the onboarding and the ad funds. Next up as well, we're going to send. Oh, actually, this is for this one down here.
Poor Lynx. We lost him.
I think he figured it out that something was wrong.
Hey guys, me as well. I keep losing my audio. I have to keep disconnecting and reconnecting.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
But I keep disconnecting. I keep losing everybody's audio and have to reconnect it. You have to reconnect. I'm going to swap devices in a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm on my computer right now. I can switch to my headphones if I need to. I'm sorry, my my mobile device if I need to. But it is harder to run the meeting notes that way. But we'll see. So, what was the last thing you heard me say?
You were talking about the rewards flow user testing and what was coming up, and then that was about the last thing.
Okay. So in terms of our reward disbursements, we have the numbers up. We had a small discrepancy, but I think that we understand why that is different. Is that right, Tom?
Yep, absolutely. It seems to all check out with what we're running into for the testing transactions that got slotted in accidentally.
Sweet. And so we have our wrapped OETH ready to claim and our bank and NOGs. Well, we have some contracts up there that need to be filled with a little bit more bank and NOGs. So we should be able to do a transaction this week. Oh
yeah, it's already up there ready to sign. Sorry, should be good to go.
Yep. So I will sign it today, and then we can have those up. And then I'm going to publicly post the results on Warpcast, and we can publicly post them on Twitter as well. And the next step after that is to send an email to all users saying that rewards are available. Actually, Bluebear, I would love if you were able to send this email to all our beta testers, because they're pretty much everyone who is using the app right now.
Absolutely, I can do that.
All right, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And on the next thing after that, we need to stop users from waiting for the physical card. We have a discussion item around this today, but in progress, we have an article listing the different confirmed ways that a user can load their card, i.e. banks, Plaid, via ACH, and Beam. And the next steps is to change the email to new users and add the ACH flow to email and onboarding. Actually, we may even change this based upon the discussion that we'll have a little bit further down. After that, we need to figure out the next gaps and drivers. So we need to improve our visibility on what's happening. So analytics based on user spending and community analytics are kind of next up on the track after we work on the rewards flow and stop the gap for the users waiting for their physical card. And now onto the content funnel side. Rainus and Coffee Crusher, how's this going?
I could start because I don't have a lot to say. I was out for the last week. I'm getting back into work. This week I've started work on the origin animation that we set out 2 weeks ago with March's voiceover. That is my current progress this week, but I'm ready to flow back into work with what Coffee Crusher has been up to and assist wherever I can.
Awesome. I'm glad you're back. So from my side, just shipping socials every day. And thank you to Blue Bear for catching the beam, the incorrect beam, or correcting me for the correct beams page on X. So I've been just doing that, been busy with that, and just working on the email copy for March for the subscribers.
Great. And how's the Noggles Instagram campaign going?
I've got to what I've got to do before this week is a little crazy for me, but what I am going to committed to doing is getting the whole share your Noggles thing done, the write-up done by Friday, so we can launch it, as long as it works correctly, we can push that for next week.
Okay, great. All right, community funnel. How's this going, Anna Thinker?
Oh, yeah, it's actually going not so great. I've not had a very good week. So it's pretty much at the same place it was last week. I did get Tree Gen in. They filled out the form, and I created a card design for them that could be used in app, and I've sent him a bunch of information, and he didn't reply. All he did was send me a link to mint an NFT and ask me if we could share it. So I don't know. I'm a little bit disheartened by that. I know that you spoke to Pool together at their community call last week, and they seemed excited about that. I don't know if there's been any progress there since. And other than that, that's pretty much where we're at with Community Funnel at this current point in time.
Yeah, so I think that Pool Together will have some brand assets already. So I just need to push them to fill in the form. I mean, we did get Tim Cox to fill in the form already, so we have that, but we just need to push them a little bit to get like access to their brand assets and stuff. And we could, I mean, if we get any of these ready to go, kind of shovel ready, we can implement them probably within a week on the app side at least. So yeah, we're just going to continue pushing on that until we get what we need for each of these groups.
Okay, and I have had some thoughts around new communities that we'd like to approach, and these are some of the communities actually that we talked about initially in our chats, and like Colt Down, not necessarily. I know they've come up a number of times. I just don't think that the TradFi KYC card fits with their ethos, and that's fine. But I do think that communities like Optimism and Bored Ape would have a lot of potential to onboard people. Whether they use the card, I'm not sure. I think ultimately we really want to do a branded card design with both of those communities. But I think it's more of a case of show them what we can do with the free version. And both of those communities are going to take a proposal. So that's going to involve writing a proposal, submitting it, getting involved in their forum process, and then pushing things forward through their forum and community initiatives. We only really need a path from them if we're asking for money. We don't necessarily have to ask them for anything. We can permissionlessly launch a card, an Optimism card, or an Ape card. So I don't know to what point we have to really get approval from their forum, if any at all. Maybe it would be to use brand assets or something like that. But I don't know. I kind of wanted to just sort of float that out there and see what other people's take was on the situation there with approaching new large communities, and like just get a general consensus.
I think the key with these large communities is someone who is like seen as part of the community to help us champion it, because otherwise we just end up looking like one of the million other DAO tools that like kind of come in and be like, hey, we did this, and we're just like being like, we're in some ways being extractive, or at least it appears we're being extractive. I do think that we should do these large communities, and I think that we should really leverage the relationships that we have to try to, like, first of all, understand how we can be successful, and also to be able to get that credibility within the community. We really want that internal champion if we can get them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree on that. I mean, I'm just thinking of, because I'm involved with Arbitrum, and it wouldn't require a proposal because you're not asking for money, right? I believe that's what you were saying. And the brand assets, I mean, at least for Arbitrum, are all on their Notion page. So anyone can use their brand assets. It's not like that. I think Lynx is right. You got to find someone that's like, oh my God, I love this, and I love this idea. You know, the champion, the internal champion that's like willing to help shill it to the inside of the community, or at least show off it. You know, and you start from grassroots of a couple people, a couple delegates to a lot of delegates to, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and we do have, like, we made some inroads at least with ApeCoin DAO, right? Like, we have a couple high-profile people there. I'm not sure if they're still high-profile. And on the Optimism side, we could enlist the aid of either Nation Bankless or Jenga Jojo at Dowplomats and stuff like that. Like, there are some people that we can reach out to on that side as well.
Yeah, who were some of the communities you mentioned there? So Ape DAO, what were the other ones?
Optimism, I think Arbitrum is what Coffee Crusher said. She had some.
Yeah, I'm involved in Arbitrum.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, Arbitrum would be fantastic. Any of those ones, we can easily get people in there earning ARB, earning OP. And then that's when, you know, once we have participation, once we have numbers, then we can start to look at the deeper reward system, which is really key to the whole ecosystem. Really, like, yes, people want to donate to their communities, or they want to earn their community tokens, but what's the reward for using the card specifically? What do they get access to by using a B card? So that's like really the next step of the rewards program.
All right, great. Thanks for that update. In terms of raising 200K, base on-chain summer was submitted and our votes are cast. So we have so far in the matching round 0.0044 ETH. That's for the 5 ETH matching round, which is going across like 1,000, 1,200 projects or something like that. So there's more judging to come. I put us into the work stream for social. Because it was kind of like about bootstrapping community. They wouldn't let us put us into multiple streams, otherwise they would have done the nouns, URL, IRL. But that sounded like a good one for us. But then when I read like the stipulations, it wasn't. I don't think we were necessarily set up for success versus some of the other projects that were submitted. So I put us into the Farcast round. We shall see. No progress.
Hey, Leg, sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm promoting that on our Friday post. How long does that voting go for? The base on I couldn't figure that out on the website.
So they increased the they just, I mean, it was today, but they extended the deadline to July 12th.
Oh, okay. All right, because I have a post going out on Friday about it.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I did post a bunch about it on Farcaster and got a bunch of votes for it.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, so maybe I should move it up to tomorrow then. Okay, I can change the schedule on that one.
Cool. All right. Moving down into the task perspective on our all team projects. Let's duplicate this. Week 28. All right, so that is starting. So we have a new community tree gen that we're aiming to launch. And so this really should be on NF Thinker, or should it? I'm not quite sure, but I will handle. I think we should do another one for Pool Together, because I'm kind of handling that one. So I'll duplicate that. All right. All right, so in terms of role salaries, yes, I was working on ops and project championing. Rainis, did you work 5 hours on BCard?
I started working on the animation. I got like 2 hours in, but I will continue, and probably today I will fill the last 5 hours as well. And then next week I'll continue in that.
Okay, and NF Thinker?
I did not get 5 hours in this week. More like 2.
Okay, and Tom?
Yep, I did.
And Coffee Crusher?
Yes, sir.
All right. I will remove that from here. On the community side, so I'll take this Pool Together one and try to get some of the assets together. And so this, I just need to grab this, but I guess we have these two communities. One of them, if we get the partnership kind of done, then this other stuff will be a little bit more open. But for now, I would say that these are kind of blocked. I don't think the communication or product team can actually work on these yet, so I'll put them in the block section. But we have two communities in the mix here. I'll put them into the this week section, and we'll try to move those forward as we can. Another thing is that there is one ETH up for grabs from DAO Punks. Anyone A, a member of DAO Punks, and B, willing to go work on that grant for us?
What does it mean to work on that grant for us?
basically go ahead and look at what needs to be done for that grant. Like there's an announcement on the DAOPunk server which saying that their next grant is coming up live. Yeah, we have friends at DAOPunks. It's possible that we could get some of that 1 ETH. So yeah.
So I hold a DAOPunk, so I guess I consider it a member. I hold an NFT. So I could submit it for us. I would just need a little bit of help or guidance of how we sort of, what we're going to say we're going to use it for, what we're trying to accomplish. Because usually those requests are like personal projects, right? Like, I mean, personal in terms of like I'm thinking of True Cat's latest one, right? Where it was content, she was expanding her content experience.
Yeah, so we were we were in the first cohort of DAOPunk's grant recipients.
Okay.
So it's possible for us to get another grant from them. Although it is mainly personal, I think us applying as a community might be a good thing. It might show like some kind of difference. I would say that what DAOPunk's the first grant did for us is it kind of paid for a lot of our marketing efforts. I mean, yes and no. I ended up paying and I never actually took that money out of it, but I wouldn't have felt as comfortable paying for things like Google and HubSpot we were using at one point, and ConvertKit. I wouldn't have felt as comfortable if that wasn't in our treasury. So it essentially paid for our early marketing efforts, which is exactly what I said it would. In this case, for the grant, I think we can say kind of something similar in that we're looking to capture communities now. And we could also say that, like, hey, we can create a DAOPunk's card if that's something they want. I'm not sure, right? Like, but that's whoever's responsible for this grant will need to kind of figure out that narrative.
Right. Okay. Okay. So it's all about capturing communities. I mean, yeah, definitely. I can definitely write it and submit it as. I guess I'll submit it as BCard, like not me. I mean, it wouldn't be me personally.
Yeah,
if you want to attach personal names to it, you can put mine as well too, and maybe we can collaborate a little bit on it, Coffee Crusher, if you'd like to do that.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, thanks, Tom.
And
Yeah,
I'm a
then
DAOPunk.
we can just bounce ideas off each other and whatnot, and get the right thing in.
And I'm a DAOPunk as well. I haven't been very active in the community, but I have voted on a few of the proposals. So I'm not prepared to take ownership of the thing, but I can certainly collaborate on the proposal if you'd like.
Yeah,
I have a DAOPunk as well. So if there needs to be multiple DAOPunkers.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Oh, that's great. Yeah. I think that's important that we put like DAOPunk members from the team on it, so it's, that's fabulous. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Renus. Thank you, Dros.
Now I'm just trying to think of a mechanism for which each DAOPunk can have a unique credit card branded to their particular NFT.
Yeah, it's not going to work with this card provider, but maybe in the future.
Not the physical card, not the physical card links, but I'm pretty sure we could get the digital one.
Like in-app?
Yeah, I think
really?
I'm thinking of a way. So.
Like if you connected your account that had that NFT in it, we could like detect that NFT if you choose the DAOPunks community.
It's absolutely possible. It's all possible.
Holy cow! That would be a great proposal.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a moneymaker there. We got a few hundred to 1,000 people who would maybe be keen to get a card with that incentive, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
the only thing is, it's not like a real card. I don't know how many people would want it as much, but maybe. I mean, let's do the work and try to see, right, by doing this proposal.
I think it's worth it. I think that would really be sexy enough that it would entice the choosers of the ETH, for this to, heck yeah. Thanks, Tom. Yeah.
And then next the purchase.
Yeah, exactly.
I was saying a Chippy.
About Chippy.
Yeah,
right?
sorry, I meant chippies.
Yeah, because that could be. Can we? Yeah, are you putting that down on the? Because that's.
Yeah, Lynx, I was thinking about Chippy as well. That's a pretty committed community, and there's quite a few folks in it.
And
Yeah.
they're very
Oh,
proud
Question
of
is,
their
what
chipping.
do you get for it?
right, exactly. Merch.
Yeah, maybe merch.
Hey, on Dowpunks, I just wanted to insert a note here. I think everyone here is aware of it because pretty much I think everyone's been involved. But thinking back just a few months, remember when Dowpunks had offered to maybe rescue is the wrong word, but infuse capital into BDAO as we were having challenges in the first quarter of the year. And I think that's some contextual awareness that we should be aware of too, as we're putting in a grant, so that we're, awareness of the fact that they've wanted to help us in the past, and that for whatever reason the dynamics of it didn't work out, but we'd like maybe massage that somehow. I don't know if we want to address it or just ignore it, but I think acknowledging that they wanted to somehow help the folks here, and this is a way to kind of, I don't know, maybe not necessarily reconstitute, but help cohere that group of talented individuals that are still in the space, I guess. And anyway, I just wanted to make that observation, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to depend on the grant request itself, right? And so the last time there was a couple of times where you could show up in person and kind of take questions from the community, so that might be a good place to do it. There's also an application process where you have to write a bunch of things down. That could be a good place to do it. And then finally, you have to write a couple blog articles, like one a week for 6 weeks, I think, for the grant. So that's another place where we could do it.
Yeah,
Cool.
That's exactly right. And they do those AMAs that Lynx is talking about, like meet the applicants, so to speak.
Yeah, it could be fun. I mean, not the grant writing, that sucks, but but I think the dynamic between the orgs and the people involved, I think, we were talking before about reaching out to people we know and have connections with. Well, talk about deep connections there. Yeah.
Cool. All right. We'll go down into the this week section. So we talked about Dowpunks. Actually, I'm not quite sure when that's due, but I should put it in right now. And let me just look here. Dowpunks. It's due Saturday at 11:59 Pacific. Oh, and it's only for projects or events. Interesting. Okay. I'll put that here.
Oh, say it again. It's only for projects and events.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And so they say they have something piling in, but yeah. And so that is due on Saturday. So we need to get that done sooner rather than later. All right. Okay. So I'll put that near the top. TreeGen and Pool Together. I will say that in general, us getting the next communities, like I think I've said a couple times, but it's worth saying again that our bottleneck right now is communities. We need to get a bunch of communities on there. There's no reason for anyone who kind of stumbles upon BCard to sign up and use it, because there may not be a community there that they're interested in. So we need a couple like baseline communities, like enough communities that people, any random person can kind of be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll accept, I'll take those rewards, right? And so I would say that these communities are kind of at the top of the list. Next up, Nouns Naming Service. How's the Oh, we talked about the campaign a little bit, so your next thing on that will be on Friday. So I'll stick that here. Cash flow for the POC. How's this going, Christy?
So I need to CryptoDad's reached out to me, but I need to get back to him
Okay.
to discuss some stuff. But yeah, been kind of thinking about it, but not really doing too much stuff.
Okay, and so I should be, I mean, I hope, I'll knock on wood, I should be starting to look at the cash flow from the strategic perspective, like the unit economics and stuff, this week. I'm almost ready for that. So I'll start getting into that pretty soon as well. Update the strategy document. That is going on right now. I would say the June rewards disbursement needs to get done sooner rather than later. I already gave an update on that. User test rewards flow. That is happening as we speak. So I'll put it right in here. We got a couple more user tests in the next couple days. We also have support article of successful connections to BCard. How's this going, Blue Bear?
Sorry about that. I was muted. Yeah. So there's a first draft up there of support connections, and I'm continuing to work on that. I should have something completed by the end of this week.
Awesome. Amazing. Feel free to send it over my way if you need a review, or just post it in the Discord, and maybe someone else can take a look at it as well.
Sounds good.
On the website update, how is this going, Andy?
Hey everyone. So the website is basically I've placed everything that needs to be placed, like the sections and information. The only thing needs fixing up is maybe the like the sheet, how like the table where it's like BCard and other cards or something. I don't know. How do you say it in English? It's a
Comparison table?
yeah, that one. And basically, like the mobile version is done too, but basically the website needs just going through it, seeing if something needs fixing or adding information, or maybe restyling from like Brett, or anyone that can fix composition or maybe change something in the lines that the line work that I've done. But yeah, it's like ready to be like fixed from my mistakes. But saying like that. But yeah,
have you talked to Brett?
No. I've just gotten back from also a week of being away in the countryside, so I just haven't gotten to Brett. So we'll write him probably just now, I guess.
Well, yeah, maybe just drop the link, and then I can also potentially review it for you too when I get a chance.
Yeah, because like everything that is here, like let's say towards the website's end, I know you can't see anything right now, but to like summarize like do a little summary, it just needs like someone like Brett to maybe just get rid or put something on it. So yeah, I'm gonna share the link right here in this room's chat. Okay.
No, I think put it in the team chat and just tag me and Brett.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do it.
Cool. Sounds
but
good.
yeah, that's the update.
Okay, and Jonathan, have you taken a look at it from a development perspective yet? Oh, I see you're in the audience. I'll invite you to speak. But have you taken a look at it from the development perspective yet? Jonathan, can you hear me? Oh, you don't have a mic. Okay. So in general, Jonathan, we have a Vercel that we're paying for, and we have like a BCard GitHub place that we can put stuff in. So feel free. So Andy, this is not a great place to put that link. Put it in.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, because it's harder to see. But yeah, just let me know if you need anything to unblock you, Jonathan. I would say that the basic outline is kind of there, and so we can start getting the execution. We can start working on it from an executional perspective, if there's mainly just content left. So Jonathan's just typing it up right now. We have an announcement channel on our Discord. So I guess we just need to move the announcements channel to its own category, which isn't done yet. and create the announcements role and give it to the people who need it. So just a couple of housekeeping things on here and a thinker.
Also, wait,
Copy that.
can I add a quick question about like the photos that will be put up like for me, the team? I don't know if you guys gonna take care of that yourselves, but maybe yeah, just think about it. Maybe how to design that, and maybe someone can design it like so that section is going forward too. So we have the pics of the team.
So you want like actual pictures for people?
I mean, that's up to you, Lynx. I don't know. Just maybe if you need it, if it's gonna be actual pics and needs to be like edited to look certain like part of the design, or it's gonna be your like avatars. Maybe I can make something in Photoshop for it to match the website's theme. You know, just something to think about or write down. I don't know. Because I don't know, it's be real people photos of like yourself, like portraits, or
Maybe you can like put it into the maybe you can like take real photos and get them like cartoonized kind of thing.
yeah, it's I can do that. But yeah, I need your photos, guys. Then
Okay.
for this work. So yeah.
Hey Andy, can you give us some parameters? I presume they're headshots, but sort of like,
Yeah.
do they need to be a certain
Basically,
color background or anything like that?
well, for now, it's in what's in the website. It's just like AI generated things, but basically the format is the same, like portrait and like with a little bit like half a torso, I guess you could say, like a bit down.
Half a tour. Oh, okay. So from like the waist up, kind of thing.
Yeah, like a waist up photo.
Okay.
And well, yeah, but it's just a thing to think about. The quicker we get it done, the another element of the website will be finished. So that's progress.
And any particular background, like white, or does it matter? Or
Well, if we want to try to animate it, or like if I'm gonna try to edit it, then yeah, it would be nice if there's like a clear background behind it, or something like one color, you know.
Okay.
For more easy cutting out. Yeah.
Got it.
Thanks.
Cool. All right. The next brand, we haven't moved forward on this. Video content. How's this going? Actually, we did have a discussion around this, Rainis, at the communication call last week in terms of just kind of reducing our effort wherever we can. So maybe we'll talk about it again at the communication call this week. But how's video content going?
Yeah, I'm currently focusing on the origin animation while the Nouns Dog campaign is still running, so that one ends and we can start another. And I'm looking at the other communities that are signed up and planning stuff for that. Regarding the short, simple videos, I just got your package through customs and waiting for its arrival at my post office. I will have the cards very soon.
Great. Awesome. All right. And then Origin Network Community, I kind of put here to kind of deprioritize them for now. So we'll leave them there. Okay. All right, great. Anything else that we're working on this week that's not here? I think that the discussion that'll open up will kind of open up a new product project. But before we do that, we'll get into what we shipped last week. So I wrote a script for user tests and schedule for user tests this week, and already did one with Drost. So thank you for that, Drost. I updated the macro trends in the BCard business case. I trafficked our base on-chain summer grant on Farcaster and got us 5 people to vote for us. I went to the Pool Together community call and got some people pumped up. There is a link to the Discord there where we're discussing it. And Tom and I ran separate transaction monthly reports and verified the outputs. Tom also created TXs to fill the reward contracts. Anything else that we shipped this week? No, nothing else. Slow week this week. All right.
Sounds like it's summertime.
Yeah, it's that kind of time. Well, as long as we move forward week after week, we're still in a good place. All right. So, reducing physical card reliance. So, given that it costs us about $5 to send a card to users, and many users have kind of reported that they haven't gotten their card, and as well that replacement card workflow is not easy, and they've confirmed that if they send a replacement card, we have no way. So basically, we have to pay double for these, and then we don't have a way to get the CVV, that is like the verification code that's on the physical card for displaying the app. So that's a really difficult thing for us to do. We actually want users, and also that we want users to use Apple and Google Wallet because it's faster for them rather than waiting 10 days for their card. So given all of these, a potential solution that I was talking about at the product meet is that for all users, when they create a card, immediately add a small amount to their account. So like a cent to $1 automatically gets put into their newly created account. And this is important because it's actually, first of all, it's going to activate the card. So they don't need to wait for the physical card to come in before they activate it. And second, it's going to allow them to add Apple and Google Pay immediately. Okay. So I think that, and then, so that would allow us in the onboarding flow to tell people, okay, hey, we've put $1 in your account. Go ahead and add it to Apple Pay right now. Okay, so that's one part of this. And the second thing is for community card users, so not the nouns card, we wouldn't send the physical card automatically. They would have to order the physical card in the mail. They would have to order the physical card in the app. So in the app, once they have loaded their card with some funds beyond that like initial $1, then we would say, hey, do you want a physical card? Click here to request one, and then we could send one to them. And we could even ask them to pay for that if we wanted to, but not necessary. Thoughts on this?
Personally,
I think adding us.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Tris.
Sorry about that. I was not near my the device. Anyway, no, I was just going to say I think adding a small amount of value to the card that actually saves us money, probably in the long run. People always want to go claim something, even if it's just $1 or two. So I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I was just going to surface the savings of money that certainly if we can get something that costs us $1 that gets people using their cards faster and is easier for them and is a less cost item, then I think that's great.
I like the idea. The physical card, they've been going missing. They're if I think about my card usage on a day-to-day basis, I barely ever use my physical card. So if we can get them to just add it to their Google or Apple Pay immediately, that would be great. If we're saving money overall and are still able to add money to their account, then that's fantastic. So yeah, is that what you were saying? So the initial cost for our card is what, $5 or something like that, and we won't. Yeah, so we won't have that $5 cost, and that opens us up to be able to load them up immediately. And if they want to order a physical card, they can. We might have to look at this from a slightly different perspective with branded cards, because that is part of that's part of the selling point of having that card, is that brand proliferation. But we can tackle that when it comes to it. But initially, I would totally go for this.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing with like the nouns card. I wouldn't change anything. I would still send them a physical card, and I do think that that's kind of like part of, for the people who are really interested in branded cards, that's kind of part of the whole thing, is that there's this physical card there.
I think the combination of a virtual card with the addition of the PFP capability by attaching your wallet and identifying a NFT that you want to be on your virtual card, whether it's a chippy or a Dowpunk or even an ape. That's a pretty compelling sales pitch for a virtual card that is really your card.
Yeah, and it also depends what you mean by virtual card as well, right? Like it's I think when you say virtual card, what we're talking about is really just the card in the app, not like the Apple Pay or Google Pay. But just the card
Yeah,
in the app.
that's what I mean. We're on the same page. Exactly that. Just the one that's in the app. But if the one in the app can display your NFT that you choose based on the wallet that you pick, that's a pretty powerful sales argument.
Any other opinions on this? Okay. How many people here use physical cards more than virtual cards, like than their Apple Pay, Google Pay?
Nope.
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 I still use my physical cards.
Yeah, I still use my physical cards too, so I'm interested. So far,
I mean, I still use them when I have to, but if I don't have to, I don't.
I use it only to deposit or withdraw cash at ATMs.
Links, you said that you use your physical cards more often than Apple Pay or Google Pay. Is there a reason for that? Do you just like getting your wallet out and
my
getting
wife
your
is
card out?
paranoid about that stuff. She doesn't like how it's too easy to spend things, so she asked me not to put stuff in Apple Pay and Google Wallet.
Huh. So it's too easy to spend money, not necessarily the security aspect of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, she
Reverse
also thinks
UI
that-
selection.
She's like, it's already bad enough that like Visa and MasterCard know all our purchases. Do we really want Apple to now know all of our purchases too? That's more of it.
Okay.
That's my perspective. Privacy and why add another layer to my payment system?
Yeah. So that's kind of the same reason my wife does it. I mean, that being said, like, yeah, it is adding another layer, right? Like when you have to tap on the machine. So the machine is owned by another company, the Visa network knows, your bank knows, the receiving bank knows, and now Apple is somehow in the mix too, or Google is somehow in the mix too. So that's why she doesn't like it.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, and it'll be fun to start playing with private transactions when they're finally available to us.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Well, and links, that kind of speaks to a little bit of what I was alluding to in our session yesterday about the privacy of transactions. And I mean, I don't know, and I'm not. This is just a neutral observation. It's not making a statement at all. But so who has visibility into the transaction data in terms of its metadata about location, merchant information, transaction?
So there's no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in terms of metadata, there may be metadata, but I don't think that there is. Like, I think that they have to attach the metadata after it. The merchant data exists. That's not something that's available to BCard or Transcard. It's only available to the banks and Visa, like the merchant information. we do see like a short form of the merchant name, but nothing else. There is some like abstracted reports that show things like which state you're in. So it's like a merchant in this state. Like it shows they have a report which shows us our payment density insert by state. So we
Uh-huh.
can see that like New York is spending X amount of dollars and Ohio is spending Y amount of dollars.
Okay.
But we can't see that individually. We can just see like kind of on aggregate. So they do layer that information in, but it's not available to ourselves or Transcard in like a raw form. Another thing is in terms of like names and amounts and times of transactions, those are available. And so the people who have access to that are myself and NF Thinker and Tom. Those are the only ones who have access to the Transcard portal.
All right. Well, that's helpful information. And there's a couple of reasons I'm asking for that. One is, I think we should probably, because of the nature of the communities we deal with and the people that are in this space that are maybe hyper focused on privacy, and maybe that's one of the reasons they're here. I think that that's something that could be an underlying concern that should probably just be addressed up front and put in an FAQ somewhere about what visibility we see, and also how that may compare to another issuer, or not, I might be using the wrong words here, but that might be actually selling your data and aggregating that in a way that's very, very different. And that can also be a differentiator for us. So we can turn that into a benefit. So I just wanted to, I had a hard time trying to encapsulate that, but that's really what I've been thinking about. And I think it's important.
Just writing that down now.
And I'm fully caffeinated now, so I think it's cogent. I could be wrong.
We do have an article on how we safeguard that data. And so we can just kind of beef up that article. Yeah. Typically, we only use it for debugging information, and we will never sell it. But that's something that we should definitely make clear. All right. Okay, cool. So something else that has been on my mind, actually, we don't have time to talk about it, but I mean, I guess I'll just introduce a topic so that we can think about it. The idea of role salaries, I guess, I don't know. We have a governance proposal to change the way role salaries are looking, and I guess like it's passed, but essentially it's essentially instead of looking at it like how many hours a week did you put in, I mean, still looking at it like that, but the intent is that it's not like X BCard per week. I guess like now that we have more people kind of putting in output based work, so Blue Bear's writing support articles, and Andy is like doing videos, and March is doing emails. I'm wondering if we should look more on the output side of things, even for our work stream leads. I'm not sure how that would look, but I do think that, like, for instance, like let's use NF Thinker as a for instance. We know that if we have more communities, we will have better output. And so, is there a way that we can tie some of NF Thinker's? Is there a way that we can kind of make NF Thinker more focused on getting communities by tying some of that BCard to the communities that he adds? And the nice thing about that is that it allows us to add other people who know communities and want to execute on communities to kind of like champion another community. I don't know. That's just one example and one thought. The only bad thing about that is that it kind of sets us up to is that like we kind of have to define these for each of the work streams. And that is something that is not as good. But I don't know. It's something that I don't think I want to get too deeply on, but just initial thoughts in the minute that we have left. What do you think about that?
I could add about this that I do see a good thing and a bad thing about this. A good thing about this is that people will be doing more of the things that are defined in the output based payment. So if we wish to narrow focus on certain tasks, that this way will definitely amplify attention on those tasks. What we might lose is initiative-based activities from workstream leads, because I am a workstream lead, and if moved to an output-based thing, I would be focused more on creating video content, because that's where my most of my output goes to. But I would definitely lose focus on like a global scale, where I am taking attention to how Andy's doing with the websites, how March is doing with the emails, and those activities would go on themselves, where I don't no longer feel responsible in putting my attention towards if that is being done on time. Where
Yeah,
currently as my responsibility as a workstream lead to take attention to that. So that's my view about it.
and it's important to say that I don't think all of it should be based upon output, right? I think that it's like more about trying to create that focus. And so it's not about, it's like, how do we balance that? It's a discussion we need to have, right? How do we balance that kind of like long-term work with the short-term output? And so I think it's good for us to discuss the incentive structure. And I also kind of see that we're over time. So I just want to say thanks to everyone. I really appreciate all the work we're putting in. Again, I want to repeat our mantra that I haven't said for a while, but we're not in a rush. We're just trying to make progress every week. And as we get into different phases of our product lifecycle, we as an organization have to change too. And so I think it's really important for us, and it's one of our values here, to be honest and transparent with each other. Because I think that it's only by creating that culture, it's only by really being able to speak comfortably with each other that we can evolve in the way that we need to evolve to become a next generation organization. So I want to thank everyone for all the time you guys are putting in. I want to assure everyone that we're not in a rush. We're just trying to move forward week after week. And my goal is the long-term one. So thanks everyone for being in the trenches with me. And I think that as long as we keep our eyes on the future and we are honest with each other, we're eventually going to get there. So thanks a lot, everyone.
Thanks, you forgot one thing.
What's that?
You could be anywhere, but you're here with us.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You could be anywhere, but you're here with us. So thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Lynx.
Thanks,
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Everybody have a great day.
You too.